Hello, my name is Pravin Dugel. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I'd like to talk to you today about the new parameters for surgical efficiency in an ambulatory surgery center, or an ASC. Here are my financial disclosures. Of note is that I'm a consultant to Alcon. Here are some important Constellation MIVs and Grease Harbor statements that I'm required to show for compliance reasons. What we did was to collect 100% of the Medicare data set through something called the Physician Supplier Procedure Summary, or the PSPS master files. Now, this is important because it allows us to see the trends of where things are happening and where things may be going. And it allows us to see this across the board in 100% of the Medicare data file. And what we're able to find is that from 2005 to 2010, although vitrectomy surgery itself as a whole had decreased, the percentage of surgeries going to the ambulatory surgery center had increased. So, in other words, looked at it a different way, there were more and more vitrectomy surgeries now being done in an ambulatory surgery center versus a hospital outpatient department, or HOPD. Why is that? Why this trend in retina? Well, there are two reasons that I'd like to discuss. One is a political or reimbursement reason, and the other is a technological reason where we've converted to microincisional vitrectomy surgery. If I look at the reimbursement in my ambulatory surgery center, Spectra Eye Institute, our reimbursement for cataract surgery has really leveled out. If I look at the reimbursement for corneal grafts, for instance, there was an initial upstep, but it's really leveled out as well. If I look at the reimbursement for shunts, for instance, and that too, there was an initial increase, but that has also leveled out. Now contrast that with these retina codes. In all these retina codes, there's a definite trend towards increasing reimbursement. So now for the technological part. Our vitreoretinal surgery has undergone a revolution, very much like the cataract surgeons had when they switched from extracapsular cataract surgery to phacoemulsification surgery. Not only are we doing things better, we're doing things better and faster. It is a lot more technically demanding, but I think our patients' results are much better. So our duration of surgery, not surprisingly, has decreased by 30%. We're able to do things that we've never done before. For instance, we're able to not use sutures. We're able to remove thick fibrous tissue as well as lens material with just a 25 gauge cutter, and this was previously unheard of. So this is of benefit not only to us, it's not only more efficient for us, but I believe it's of benefit to the patients as well. We use less instrumentation because we can do a lot more with our cutter alone. Our cutter can be now a multifunctional tool. However, all of this comes at a price. We have fantastic new technology, but it costs more. And it costs a lot to equip a room for vitreoretinal surgery. All in all, the estimation is that it would cost between $200,000 and $300,000 to equip a room to be suitable for vitreoretinal surgery. And a large part of that cost is the vitrectomy machine itself. So the question that one has to ask is it worthwhile? Is it worthwhile to do? And I'd like to address two different myths in this regard. One myth is that in order to do vitreoretinal surgery in ASC, one has to be really, really fast. And that is a difficult concept for me to accept because that somehow infringes on patient care. If you're rushing through surgery thinking that you really have to be fast, that's not necessarily the kind of patient care that one has to give or one should be required to give. The second myth that I'd like to tackle is that you have to operate cheaply to succeed in an ASC. Again, this implies that one can't have the best of equipment, and clearly down the road this may also have an impact on patient outcomes. So this is also a very, very important myth to address. Well, we certainly have better machines. We also know that it's going to cost more, but what is it going to cost? And what is it going to give back? Well, some of the things that it gives back is user friendliness. It's hard to judge the value of things that are not quite as tangible, like education. Now I find that I can have a number of scrub techs, whereas before I only had one that I trusted, because the machine is a lot more user-friendly. Certainly there's value to that, but it's an intangible value. That doesn't mean it's not important. It's just not quite tangible. The setup is a lot easier. There's instant feedback. There's push prime, which means you can turn the room over faster, and those are tangible values. And here's an example. This is my staff turning over the Constellation, and you can see the whole time only my scrub tech needs to be involved. My nurse is where the arrow is in the background doing charting, which is what a nurse should do. She really doesn't have to be involved in this process whatsoever. She's only involved after the turnover is completed, and there's real value to this. What kind of vitreoretinal surgeon will succeed in an ASC? Well, patient care is always the most important thing, and certainly that has to be on the top of the list. The vitreoretinal surgeon must value efficiency. The surgeon must understand some amount of economics. The surgeon also must be ASC friendly, in other words, well-trained and surgically confident. And the surgeon must be open to new technology, because this is changing all the time. We've gained an enormous amount of efficiency. I think we provide much better patient care in this very short period of time, and this will continue to evolve. It'll continue to get better, and I believe this will continue to get better in an ASC setting. Thank you.